Hello, young man. I'm glad you're here to listen because today we're going to talk about a very important topic, the fight against perfectionism. You know, being a hero is not just about having superpowers or a fancy suit. It's about being human and making mistakes. And I'm here to tell you that I've been there too, struggling with the weight of perfectionism and the fear of failure. As a young boy, I was driven by a sense of justice and a desire to protect my family and community. But as I grew older, I began to realize that my need for control and perfection was taking a toll on my mental health. I was constantly worried about making mistakes, about not being good enough, about failing those I cared about. And that anxiety was eating away at me, making it harder for me to sleep, to eat, to even think straight. But then something changed. I realized that perfectionism is a myth, a fantasy that we create in our minds to avoid the fear of failure. And I learned that it's okay to make mistakes, that it's okay to not be perfect. In fact, it's more than okay, it's necessary. Because when we allow ourselves to make mistakes, we open ourselves up to growth, to learning, to becoming better versions of ourselves. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that I just woke up one day and suddenly I was okay with making mistakes. No, it took work, it took effort, it took practice. I had to learn to reframe my thinking, to see mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than as failures. I had to learn to be kind to myself, to be compassionate, to be understanding. And that's what I want to help you with today. I want to help you see that perfectionism is not the answer, that it's not the key to success or happiness. I want to help you understand that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay to make mistakes. And I want to give you some tools, some strategies, to help you overcome your own perfectionism and anxiety. One of the things that helped me was to focus on the process, not just the outcome. When I'm out there fighting crime, I don't just focus on catching the bad guy. I focus on the journey, on the steps I need to take to get there. I focus on the training, the preparation, the strategy, and that helps me to stay present, to stay focused, and to enjoy the process. Another thing that helped me was to practice mindfulness. I learned to be present in the moment, to focus on my breath, to let go of distraction, and that helped me to calm my mind, to reduce my anxiety, and to stay centered. And finally, I want to talk about self-compassion. I want to encourage you to be kind to yourself, to be gentle, to be understanding. When you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't criticize yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, offer yourself kindness, offer yourself compassion, and remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. You know, being a hero is not just about saving the world. It's about saving ourselves. It's about learning to love ourselves, to accept ourselves, and to be kind to ourselves. And that's what I want to leave you with today. I want to leave you with the understanding that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you are deserving of love and compassion, no matter what. So, I want to ask you, what are some of the things that you've been struggling with in terms of perfectionism? What are some of the things that you've been afraid to try because you're afraid of making mistakes? And what are some of the things that you can do today to start letting go of that perfectionism and embracing your imperfections? You know, I believe in you, and I believe that you have the power to overcome your perfectionism and anxiety. And I want to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite heroes, Nelson Mandela, who said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." So, don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because it's in those moments that we learn, that we grow, and that we become stronger. And finally, I want to remind you that you are not alone. You are part of a community of people who are struggling with the same things, who are fighting the same battles. And I want to encourage you to reach out, to connect with others, to form relationships, and to build a support network. And if you feel this talk helpful, don't forget like and subscribe. And if you want to be a more grateful person, you can donate on the Patreon account. Link on description. See you soon, friend.